Next up, we'll have Joe Jensen speaking on the Armed Forces Service Center. Thank you, Matt.
I want to thank all of the posts, auxiliaries, and riders that have given money to the Armed Forces Service Center. It is critical that we appreciate and show our thanks to you. What is the Armed Forces Service Center? It's an organization started in 1970 by a lady who lost her son in the Vietnam conflict. Before he died, he had written a letter to her about the USO in Seattle. And why aren't we in the Twin Cities area having something similar to that? Well, she went to the MAC, Metropolitan Airports Commission, excuse me. They said, okay, if you can show us that you have enough volunteers and enough money to run the operation 24 hours a day, we'll give you the space free. Well, she got very organized, went to the auxiliaries who put on countless bake sales, went to the posts, gathered money, and allegedly, now I don't know this is true, but the gentleman who was in charge of the Marine Corps at the reserve base over there said to his employees, soldiers, Marines, if you don't volunteer some time at the Armed Forces Service Center, that will be reflected on your annual report. We all know that didn't happen. Anyway, the Marine Corps has a reputation for supporting us for years also. What happens? Let's say Mike Ash, who's an Air Force retiree, comes out to the post because he's to the airport because he's going to catch a flight. It's got a couple hours before the flight, so he comes up to the center. We look at his retiree card, have him come in, sign in. We show him where the baggage claim check is so that he can put his stuff safely away. Then we show him how the recliners operate. We have space in the center itself for about 30 people, and we also have a little computer area. We have a large screen TV. We have a small TV in the area for the kids, so that, let's say Mike was traveling with some of his grandkids and they were small, they would go in there and have a TV on a station that they'd be interested in and not the sports channel that's being shown on the big TV. We have a canteen, if you want to call it that, or mess hall. We have different items for you to choose from. The items go from things like Hot Pockets, pepperoni style, breakfast sausage, egg and cheese biscuits. We have cold cereal, hot cereal. We have, currently we have Girl Scout cookies. They also have chips and fruit, orange juice, milk, these kinds of staples. As far as overnight can't do it anymore. We lost a lot of volunteers between COVID and moving over to the secure side of the airport. What happened with the move is that you now have to go through badging, then you have to go through the employee line, and we, up until we moved, we still had a World War II vet who came out every week on the midnight to 4 a.m. shift. He would go into valet parking, he'd go upstairs to on the elevator, walk 100 feet to where the old center was, and he was there. He didn't have to have a badge, he didn't have to have anything. Just his ability to come out and help people. So that's why we're only open from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Exception to that is the other day when we had a lot of flight cancellations due to weather, and Deborah called another volunteer and myself to come in from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. So normally, no, you can't stay overnight in the center. We do have a space outside the center that has recliners and couches so that you can feel comfortable away from the mass area of the airport. Are there any questions about what we do and why we do it? Oh, I guess I didn't cover that. We do it because we want to pay back to our military community, thank them for being in the service now. I look at some of these young recruits that come in and I'm going, was I ever really that young? Any questions?
Yeah, you were that.
Yeah, that was my first flight. I had never flown before I went down to basic training in the Army.
Hey, Joe.
Yo!
Who's eligible to use this? Is this for like active duty, retired? Not just any veteran?
Correct. We have the ability to help any active duty troops. We have retirees on a space available basis. I personally have not worked a shift where I had to reject a retiree because we didn't have enough space. Then it goes to 100% disabled, Medal of Honor, Purple Heart. We also accept people that are in foreign military. Oftentimes, people from other countries come to Minnesota for winter training, and so those troops we accept also. We do not accept a person who is just a retiree, just a service member who served 2 years or 3 years or whatever the minimum service was. And the reason we don't accept them has to do with money. We do, however, offer them a beverage, and we tell them that the space outside the center is open for them to use. And of course, we have bathrooms, so that's a big draw. We have 2 unisex bathrooms, and we have 1 women's bathroom. Now, that's above my pay grade to explain why we had to have that particular breakout. But hey, the architects and the people at MAC said that's the way it's going to be. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
How do you receive funding? How do you stay alive?
Pardon?
How do you receive funding?
Oh.
How do you keep operating?
We get money from grants. We have currently about 15,000 waiting an answer from Delta Airlines. We get money from Post. We also received a very generous donation from the Department of Minnesota. We had to replace a freezer, and they paid for the freezer, the installation of the new freezer, and the removal of the old freezer. Now, that may sound kind of odd that we had to pay for all that stuff, but remember, we're on the secure side of the airport, so anything we do has to go through the security side, and they have to, in this case, they had to get a truck cleared to drive on the tarmac, deliver it over to the closest gate to where we are located, then take the old thing on the same truck out of the airport area. So yeah, that was a huge gift by the Department of Minnesota American Legion. But posts, you know, like North St. Paul, they donate money to us. Our little post, you know, throws in $100 a year. So yeah, the auxiliary, I'm not going to say the amount because I don't remember the exact figure, but the Minnesota Department of Auxiliary kicks in several $1,000s a year to help us. Any other questions on funding? Yes?
Do you need volunteers? Who can volunteer? And how do they volunteer?
Thank you. Yes, we do need volunteers. You go online to the website, and the process involves a orientation by video. Then you go to the airport, you get cleared for a badge, you come out to the center for a couple shifts of hands-on, and then you sign up on VicNet to donate your time on something that works for you. I normally work every other Tuesday night from 8 to 11 because that seems to work with my schedule. But since I'm single and Deborah Kane, our manager, has my telephone number, I sometimes do get called in for extra shifts. Yes, it's something you do not have to be a veteran to volunteer either. So we have several people that either their brother, their sons, their whatever had been in the military, heard about it, and they decided to volunteer with us. Any other questions? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Joe. Now let's take a 10-minute break so we can get set up for the next presentation. So we'll reconvene at, what time is it?
5 right now.
So at
11:10. Or wait a minute, 11:10.
So at 11:05.